This week on Soundwaves TV, we're calling it Modern Classics, and this comes from a conversation that I had that I was so inspired. I picked up the phone and called Dennis Willis, and I was like, you're not going to believe this guy. We got to get him on Soundwaves. This week, music producer and media prognosticator, Dennis wrote that, and I just said it, but I sound super savvy. Mikel Ross will join us in the studio to talk about what he calls modern classics and why the state of rock and roll is probably in better shape than you thought. Great news here on Soundwaves TV. Hey everyone, you're watching Soundwaves TV. Chasta and Dennis here, and I have beef to pick with this one. He left me at the studio to party with the Dolly Rots. That's an absolute lie. I couldn't make it. It was a choice between my son's rock show.
That's true. That's very true.
Or the Dolly Rots.
Yes.
So hopefully they would understand.
We didn't have any fun at all.
I know. Obviously you didn't.
We didn't.
Yeah. So you basically stayed up all night with the Dolly Rots.
It was kind of late.
Fun.
Yes, it was.
Awesome episode. Awesome time.
It was fun.
I love that you guys had a blast. You have always loved them. You introduced me to them.
They are such good humans.
Yeah,
they just really are. I mean, it's... and that's actually one of the things we're going to talk about in this segment is just being a good human.
Good human. I was going to segue myself.
Very good. Very good. Well played. Well played. But yeah, and it counts. And they really do set the template, the Dolly Rots do, on how to, we said this at the end of the episode, just how to treat your fans right.
Yeah.
Just walk around and say hi, talk to people. But there's somebody else who actually really treated people right.
This is
do
incredible.
tell.
Yeah, so Taylor Swift, heard of her? I know. She
very small independent artist.
Exactly. Yeah, she's really scraping it together. But she did something so spectacular. You know, there are lots and lots of artists that hit mega fame and they enjoy the fruits of their labor on their own. And maybe they take care of their family and friends and we never hear about it or whatever.
Sure.
But Taylor has done something else. She has spoiled and thrown money and bonuses onto everyone in her camp. I'm talking everyone. I mean, each driver for the Eras tour got reportedly $100,000, those truck drivers. I mean, that's a life-changing bonus.
Yeah. Wasn't the total something like she gave like $55 million?
Correct. I'm actually going to pull it up on my phone because I want to make sure my facts are right.
I mean, we're talking about $1 billion tour. We're talking about like potentially the first $1 billion tour in history. Yeah. When you got that much money floating around, you do hope that choices like that are made.
Yeah, it is. According to people.com, it is $55 million in bonuses to everyone. So, I mean, you know, you look around that stadium, and I know when people walk in, they're very excited to see somebody like Taylor Swift, and they just focus on Taylor.
Right.
But the mountain of people it takes to put together a show of that caliber is astronomical. And the fact that she looked around and went, here's money, here's $55 million to everyone who's taking care of me and holding me up, propping me up, because she wouldn't be where she is if it weren't for those people and that crew and everyone around her. And I have an inside story on this. So Taylor, I met Taylor years and years and years ago, briefly at a radio station when she was going around to radio stations with a little acoustic guitar, playing little songs. Yeah. No one knew who she was. Her parents were managing her, and you know, she had maybe one PR person, if I remember right. And I remember I heard the Tim McGraw song. And this is, God, what year is this? Maybe 2008 or something, a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I remember I had come home to Jay and I said, listen to this song. This girl will be an absolute superstar. And I mean, I'm pretty proud that I heard one song and I was like, and I knew she'd be this
But you
big.
could tell. It was always there.
You could tell.
Yeah.
And she came from nothing and she worked her, and not nothing. She had a good family, good middle class type family who really took care of her, who really loved her and supports her. She didn't come from nothing, but she did really work her way up and she fought tooth and nail. She played the malls in every tiny stage and on her little acoustic guitar. So it's not like I know her, we're not friends by any means, but just seeing that humble beginning and then looking at this blow up and seeing that little girl be a grown-ass woman and take care of the people around her, it sets a real cool precedent that other corporations, artists that can do that live at that level, I think that's the precedent. Like, treat people like that.
Because most don't.
Yeah.
Because most
real.
don't. I mean, most people, when they get to that level, they're more concerned about getting into TMZ, and what's the viral moment now.
Yeah.
And not to say that she hasn't fallen prey to a little bit of that. Oh, what's she going to write about? But I mean, good on her. Good on her.
That's really the people around her even curious. She sort of has stayed back. Especially since she got so blasted, slut-shamed, and she said those words for dating like a normal person. Right. But because she was who she was, she got slut-shamed. So she kind of retracted a little bit into the darkness. But just people always speculated. They always kept talking about her. And you know what? She stayed in the limelight all this time, and she's having fun with the idea of that.
Sure.
She puts little Easter eggs in all of her music videos and all of her songs, and she has the people that love her doing all the math, and they're like strategizing, what does this mean? And it's incredible. What an incredible performer. And I mean, it's not like I have every album and listen to every song, and I'm not a Swiftie per se, but I respect an artist who's just kicking ass and taking care of people. It just warms my heart.
I will unabashedly pull out my 1989 vinyl sometimes and share it with my neighbors. I'm just saying.
Yes. I do have a couple of vinyl myself, so I get it. We're like quasi-Swifties. Is that okay?
Sure.
We're poser Swifties.
We're Swifty, yeah. Let's go with that.
We're Swiftie-esque.
Now, you know who did go to the Taylor Swift concert?
Oh,
we
I
did
know.
not. But
he was very excited about it.
He was very excited about it. And I don't know if he's going to be as excited right now, but let's see what he's got. Morris Knight, take it away.
Hey, what's happening? Morris Knight here on Soundwaves TV. Glad you're hanging out with us. We've got some great stuff coming your way this hour, so just kick back, relax, and let's get ready to rock. Later on, we've got producer extraordinaire Mikel Ross from Lucky Recording Company stopping by. But first, one of the many great projects that he's had his hands in. In fact, Soundwaves actually presented a show with these guys last month at Bottom of the Hill in San Francisco, and it was freaking amazing, right? Just another great night of local rock and roll, just the way we like it. So, check this one out from Treasures. This is Hot Rod.
lost control. Yeah, hope is control. Thirst is control. Yeah, violence control. Yeah, sex is control. Yeah, losing control.
Hey, welcome back to Soundwaves TV. Dennis Willis here. We got a lot of really exciting things happening in the coming weeks. You're going to want to stick with us. But right now, stick around because in just a minute, we're going to be chatting with our new best friend, music producer, Mikel Ross. We call him Mikey. He's part of the family, and you're going to love what this guy has to say about the state of rock and roll. Stick with us.
Your home is your biggest asset, and whether to sell or hold is a major decision. David Siplin will help you with the information to make the right call and assist with the sale of your property and the purchase of a new home. Contact David today for an in-person or remote appointment.
Check out Soundwaves TV on all our social media accounts. Deleted scenes, extended interviews, the latest announcements, and official playlist. The Bay Area plays here. Hit us up everywhere at Soundwaves TV.
Please consider helping us continue our mission of lifting and supporting independent music by becoming a Soundwaves patron. In exchange, you'll be the first to see and hear all of our weekly shows, as well as exclusive content. Just go to patreon.com/SoundwavesTV.
Hey everyone, you're watching Soundwaves TV. Chasta here, elated to introduce you to somebody who's so inspiring to me and Dennis. I met you, I don't even remember how our paths crossed last year. We got into a conversation and it was like our first chat was like an hour and a half long, I think.
My version of the story is a little different because I stalked you for a year before that.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I'm honored, by the way.
No, I can't remember. It was in an event and I saw you were at an event and it was some sort of, I can't remember exactly how it happened, but I was kind of introduced to the concept of you by a friend of mine. And I said, wow, that's really awesome that she's got the job being the program director at the Bone. And so I wanted to talk to you because of the modern classic rock movement that I had started to sense. And so I started calling your receptionist and saying, I need to speak to Chasta.
And usually that means a crazy person.
Yes,
like just being full disclosure.
And in my defense, really well. I am insane. So that was like, she was doing an excellent job filtering out the crazy people.
You made it through the barrier though.
I did make it through the barrier. I finally penetrated and I somehow got through to your voicemail and I left you a voicemail. And that was when we started talking. I
remember I called you back. You sent me a Facebook
back.
message too, and I was like, am I doing this? Am I calling this guy? Because you said some very inspiring things that I thought, he seems legit. He seems not crazy. I think
that's right. I went through Messenger.
Yes.
I went through Messenger. That's right.
Too.
Yeah. So the stalking was complete. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, trifecta. But he's so incredible. You'll see very quickly why. You run Lucky Recording Studio in San Francisco.
I do. I am a producer and engineer at Lucky Recording Company. I have two partners, Travis Kasperbauer and Kirk Schlegel, two of the best engineers on the planet. Yeah. We have been running our facility for about 15 years. Wow. And gradually clawing our way into what's the left of the music business and trying to come up with a new way of introducing people to the music of today.
That's how you locked me in. This is where he gets very visionary with something you call modern classics. So that was the conversation we had. Tell everybody about that.
Okay, so about 4.5 years ago, I started noticing these kids showing up at the studio were wearing flat brim hats and had handlebar mustaches, and they were sounded like Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac. I remember this band called Chief that me and Luther Dickinson produced, and it was like, where did this come from? And the guy looks at me and he goes, rock band, Guitar Hero. And I was like, doing. I was like, wait a minute, okay. So these guys studied the same music that we were raised on.
Yeah.
And as a video game, which is a lot more intensely than I think I studied it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's,
right?
Yeah.
And so I started noticing this pattern building, and at the same time, you started to see this return to this classic rock fashion motif. And we could go off on fashion forever. But to me, fashion leads the way into music. Fashion comes and music comes to accompany the fashion of the times. Mohawks and long hair.
Love it, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Fashion is actually the precursor to the music.
Fascinating.
So when I saw Pink Floyd shirts and Led Zeppelin shirts and stuff starting to be sold at Walmart and Target and all this, and I started seeing young kids wearing these shirts, I was like, wait a second, fashion is now going to drive this towards this music again. Then I started seeing that there are more classic rock radio stations active in America than any other genre that have no ability to play new music.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
If this music could be recreated, this market would still exist, and that people that want this quality level of music would be able to access this now in real time. So then we had to decide, how do we make this music, or can you make this music still? What's the difference? Why is the music of today not the same as the music of then?
That's the big question. Everyone says that.
Right.
There's no like Led Zeppelin anymore. There's no,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know why. I think.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
He's a prophet. I'm calling it. I'm calling it.
I'm pretty sure I know why.
Prophesizing his prophecy.
In the old days, they had the luxury of time.
Right.
And they were allowed to take 2 years to make 12 songs, which means that the band can really focus into the essence of the music. They can dive into the music and to the experience of recording on such a higher level that the product that comes out the end naturally, just by design, has to be superior than something that's made in a hurry. The music of today is created along the lines of McDonald's hamburgers. We actually call it Lego music. Sorry.
It is what it is. I agree.
It's created quickly to be consumed quickly and not to be thought about for much longer than that. And that's why there's a hard time selling music today, is because the quality's not baked in anymore. And this can be illustrated by walking into any neighborhood Best Buy and finding people spending $40 on Dark Side of the Moon again.
Yeah, that's so true.
Again.
Yeah.
Because the quality's baked into the music still. You can hear and feel the difference of the music.
I love how you reference music and cooking, the way you talk about like letting it marinate and adding the ingredients and really like building something of quality.
Well, it goes for cooking and woodworking, all these crafts. And that's where we get to what is classic rock? Well, classic rock is not a genre. Classic rock is a craft standard. It's a standard of excellence in lyric and performance and recording, all of the disciplines of music.
Absolutely.
And it comes with a fantastical edge to it because it does take that much time. You can create entire fantasy worlds in these audio kingdoms that the people create, but it takes time. And so in order to create that music again, we slowed the process down. And we finally found an artist named Pietro Straccia that I saw open for someone, and I approached him about making a record that would slow down with us. And he created a band called Epiqe, which is spelled Epiqe, and we made one of the most beautiful records that I've ever created in my life, which we'll play a song here in a second. But what it taught me was that this theory is correct. That if you do slow down and you do take your time with the music and you do it until the sound is perfect, not good enough, not great, but perfect, according to the artist's ear, not my ear, not your ear, the artist's ear, what you'll find is incredible depth of art that is totally available today if you give the kids time to make the art.
Anybody else have the goosies? You do this to me every time. Do you see why I say visionary? It's incredible when you have an artist like Pietro come to you. How do you help them understand that it is about time and that it's not just ripping out a single to go on social and all that?
Well, I start out by saying, a lot of people come to the studio with this idea of that it's an hourly concept, right? That we're selling these things by the hour.
Right.
And so I don't do that. I talk about art, and I talk about what we're trying to accomplish, and what is it that the artist sees this music doing in the future, who's listening to the music, all these things. And we talk about art, and then we find out the depth of what this artist wants to go to, and then we quote them a price that's per song.
Okay.
And that can take 2 years if it wants to.
Yeah.
That's how much the song costs, and it's half up front and half when it's done. And so
I love that model.
Man, it serves us so well, because it allows the artist time to experience the music as a listener and not as just a performer or a constructor, which they're the three hats. You know, the listener has to be respected as well, which is partly what a producer's job is to speak for the song and to be the listener. So that's where most of my fights come from. Sorry, guys.
It's part of the process. And it's good that you do that. That's
the other part about great art is the crucible of great art is conflict and friction, and all great music these days is created with the most conflicted energy of all, which is electricity. And so in that is the friction of the crucible of creation, where it's like, it's not supposed to be easy. Great art is pain and exertion. Just it's really has a lot more to do with athletics than it doesn't. Music is much more of a team sport. If you take team sports analogies and you place them on music, they all work out pretty well. And so the other part of the creative process that has been lost on the new generation is the kind of like push it till it hurts thing. And that's where I come in a lot of times as the coach, where it's like, I know where we can get. We've sat down at the piano, we've found your range and all that. And there are 2 or 3 notes up here that you haven't gotten yet, but that with the correct preparation and training, we can get you there. And it's not going to be easy. This is the hard part up at this end.
Yeah, but that's where the payoff is.
But that's where the payoff is, right?
That's where the good stuff is.
And so you, in my world, a lot of times we are kind of the coach, like almost like a basketball coach in a way, where we're standing on the sideline going, you stand there and you stand there. But anyway, I digress. I'd really love to listen to the song. Let's listen to the song, right?
And I just have to mention, can I mention that the video was filmed in Pacifica?
Absolutely.
That's just a cool little fun touch, little hometown touch there.
Yeah.
So it's Epiqe, Little Love.
Yeah.
You're watching Soundwaves TV. We'll be right back with more with Mikel Ross.
You find find with you. Those patient eyes reveal the truth. A little lock from above, you breathe. With a little love.
Oh, what's going on, everybody? Joe Hawk here, and we just got done watching Epiqe's new video, Little Love, and you actually caught me in the middle of doing the laundry as well, too. You know, got to get some work done in between these videos. But also, stay tuned. There's a whole lot more going on here in a little bit. Yeah, you're definitely going to want to stick around for this. We have a lot more with producer Mikel Ross here in just a little bit. But first, we're going to be checking out the latest and greatest from this group of East Bay Hellraisers who, if you saw Blink-182 at the SAP Center earlier this year, you definitely saw these guys, open up for them. But also, if you're a fan of Soundwaves TV, then a year ago, you saw them right here on the show. So check it out. Here is Destroy Boys with their latest video, Shadow on Breaking Down. And I'm just realizing I'm out of fabric softener. You're watching Soundwaves TV.
White clouds pass over the sun, thoughts flow like a river
This portion of Soundwaves TV is sponsored by Longboard, the coolest hidden gem on the coast. A world-class music venue with a neighborhood vibe. Stop by for a drink or check out an awesome show. For more information or to get tickets to an upcoming event, go to thelongboardbar.com.
Hey, want to watch Soundwaves TV on your big screen? Head over to the Roku channel store and download our free app, Soundwaves TV. You'll get every brand new episode and archives of every past season. Do it now. We've got your next party covered.
Closed captioning for Soundwaves TV is brought to you by Green Room Music Center, offering rock camp, music lessons, a drum shop, and rehearsal spaces for rent. For more information, go to greenroommusiccenter.com.
Hey everyone, you're watching Soundwaves TV. Chasta here with producer visionary Mikel Ross. So
expert laundry folder.
You can teach me then. We're back to talk about something that he and I bonded over on our very first conversation, which was the fact that you have worked with music that has ended up in space.
That's true.
I'm saying that,
That's
right?
true, yes.
Okay,
that is
I just
true.
wanted to make sure. So let's go back, recount this, because it's incredible.
Okay, so it all starts with Jimmy Leslie, who is the lead singer and principal songwriter from a band called Spirit Hustler. I was producing his record, and on a very beautiful night, he showed up down at the studio. And you haven't been to the studio yet, but
No.
there's an ancient train tunnel that's near our studio that serves us this amazing cathedral-like echo chamber, reverb chamber. And Jimmy played me this first line of this song called "The Spirit of '69." We're staring at the moon, and we're actually talking about how cool it must have been to drive dune buggies on the moon.
Oh, wow.
Like that the luckiest astronauts of them all were the ones that got to go up with the dune buggy.
I'll have what he's having. Yes, I love it. I'm in it.
If you're going to be like, if you get to walk on the moon, you want to be that guy.
Totally.
To take a ride on the moon.
I am with you. Yep.
So that's what our conversation was. So we, he plays me the first verse of "The Spirit of '69", and we start thinking about how long it's been since we walked on the moon, and how now we're going back to the moon, and Elon Musk is selling tickets on the ride, and this whole thing, and like how awesome, what a great lifespan it was. Like that we were both born in 1969. So we start on this song called "The Spirit of '69", which is kind of this like musical puzzle, and it's in 3 stages, like the Saturn V rocket. Okay.
Yes,
And
I'm following.
And so each stage blasts you off closer to space, and then in the end, you orbit the Earth, and you experience the whole Earth singing along this like big giant chorus at the end. And contained within the song, there are 21 Easter eggs of things that happened in 1969.
So cool.
I'm going to give you one hint. Only one hint. There's a line from a Simon and Garfunkel song that features very prominently in From the Sound of Silence, that features very prominently in one of the verses of the chorus. So
Okay.
now you see, like, it could be the words, it could be numbers, it could be references, but there are 21 different things that happened in 1969 inside of this.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
And so we do this fantastical journey onto this song and have the best time doing it and make an epic rock song. And then I had made friends online during the pandemic with a friend of mine named Dr. Crispy, who is a DJ, and he actually turned out to be Dr. Krish Boschwiesen, who is a legitimate spaceman. And like, I couldn't believe the luck that I had actually met a spaceman online, which I thought was really cool.
Right? That's very COVID times, isn't it? That's crazy.
And so then he calls and he says, well, I'm going to space finally, and I'm going in Jeff Bezos' rocket. And
Did you think it was full of shit?
A little bit,
Okay,
but then
okay,
kind of
good,
right.
'cause
Of course,
at
first you're like,
the internet's kind of a
you
crazy
know,
place.
you know, right? But I
love that you followed him down this path.
I pull the thread.
Yeah.
You know, when I find the thread, I pull it till I find the sweater it's attached to.
I love it.
And I said, well, Chris, since you're going to space, would you take a song to space and play it while you're in space? Because that's like, of all the things you could take to space, that weighs the least to me.
But it's the heaviest. It's the most
heaviest.
important. I love it.
And Chris was just like, that's an amazing idea. Yes, I can totally take a song to space. Thank you. That's so great. You mind if I run with this idea? And I said, I run on.
Yeah.
So in the classic end of the amazing tale, which is all classic rock, fantasy, this whole thing, right? Chris contacts the Gene Roddenberry Foundation, Star Trek author family, and they fund a 400-song hard drive shaped in the form of a Star Trek emblem that goes up in the rocket because, as we all know, accompanying Dr. Chris and his wife and the pilot was Captain Kirk.
Sure.
From the Starship Enterprise, who, when I found out was going to be hearing my song, made this like the best day of my entire life. I can't even
imagine. Yeah, right? Your head must have exploded.
So they took the song up and they played it in space. And so we were on the playlist that got to play while they were orbiting the Earth. And we were song number 8.
Your song number 8.
The Infinity Sign, which I thought was very appropriate.
Did you choose number 8? Okay, it just worked out that way.
No, but space is infinite, and then we're number 8.
The cosmos really work in your favor,
right,
sir.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And so crazy brain, pattern brain goes, oh.
Yeah, I love it.
And so at the same time that this is all happening, and I know this story is getting completely bogged down, but...
oh, no, this is like the most fascinating story I've ever heard in my entire life.
Leslie goes to the Renegade Burning Man thing that, I don't know, am I supposed to say that after COVID or whatever? I don't know. Well, fine. They had a Renegade burn where everybody said, we're just going to get sick anyway, so let's go party.
Well, there you go, okay.
And so out there at the Renegade burn, they asked Jimmy to play while the Drone Man was being made. And the Drone Man is being made, and Jimmy's playing The Spirit of 69 to the Drone Man. This song is being played on Burning Man to the drone. This is the drone thing, is because they didn't have a man to burn, so they used drones.
Right.
And so we have this amazing footage that goes along with the song.
I remember seeing this on the website.
Yeah.
At the time you and I were talking last year.
Then
yes.
The song goes up into space. So all these elements come together into this thing that we've created, that where the video was created about this whole experience that we went through. And I would really like to say thanks to Dr. Chris and his wife and to Jeff Bezos for having a spaceship.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, dude.
Jeff.
I know, right?
Very cool of you, dude.
I know. And for taking our song into space. And so if you buy the Spirit Hustler record, it's as heard in space. So
that is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean...
Oh, but we also raised $75,000 for music programs by auctioning off the hard drive.
Oh, I did not realize that.
Yes.
That's news. That's incredible.
Yes, for music programs.
Oh, yeah. God. I mean, a visionary and he's giving back. Stop it. Okay, I just have to know emotionally when all of this is happening and your song is in space, like what's happening inside your mind and body? Like,
well, what I was wearing my Star Trek outfit.
Of course. I had a feeling. That's why I asked that question.
And we were sitting and we were looking up and foolishly thinking that we might be able to see it. I actually had binoculars too.
I would have tried.
Right, but we tried. But we didn't see it. And but what was really going through my mind was that what an incredible time that we live in, where there's this connective tissue, all of this internet connectivity that most people have real labored with this concept of how bad it can be and how dangerous it can be and how, just treacherous and be careful on the internet. My experience largely on the internet has been with normal, awesome people. And that if you kind of are in the space where these people are going to be, right? Rather than just kind of wandering about aimlessly, if you end up in certain kind of chat rooms where they're talking about specific things or things that you're interested in, I've found an amazing amount of relationships around the world. And especially during the pandemic, I kind of really opened myself up to the idea of being like a pen pal. I had pen pals when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the idea of being a pen pal with someone on the internet never really occurred to me.
Right, yeah.
Until the pandemic. And so this is how like Dr. Chris came into my life, and a lot of artists have come into my life this way. And I think that it's amazing that through this connective tissue of the internet, this creation, this song, this idea about this concept of space somehow just traveled through the digital frequencies and through the airwaves of our electricity and this electricity and somehow ended up in a rocket to space. That's just incredible. You
are the definition to me. I listen to a lot of audiobooks while I run, and a lot of them are like self-help, introspective sort of situations. And you hear a lot about keeping your frequency high and your energy high and your vibes high. You are the literal definition of that. And I mean, that is a huge compliment, because I think people get caught up in their day-to-day, and so they're like, here's what I do and this is how my day goes, and they're not looking up at the horizon and saying yes to the universe opening itself to you.
Exactly.
And I think that's what you're especially good at.
Yeah.
Is just going, okay, this feels like a cool, safe space with good energy. Let's dive into the pool.
Yeah.
And look what comes out. Your song is in space.
And there you go.
I mean,
blast off. I mean,
seriously.
3, 2, 1, boom.
This is why no bullshit. As soon as I got off the phone with you the first time I called Dennis, I was like, you're not going to believe the guy I just met. Like, this is some crazy stuff.
And we met on the internet.
We did meet on the internet.
Boom.
And I'll be frank, this is a little behind the curtain. You know, I do get a lot of messages from people.
No way.
And I don't mean that it's about me. It's about the fact that I'm on the radio. And so people, like, pretty much everybody.
You're also an awesome babe.
Thank you. Love you for that. Thank you. Thank you. I'm getting deep here. I'm getting almost therapeutic here. But, like, in my job, you have to know that pretty much everybody who reaches out really wants something from you.
Sure.
That's what it boils down to. It's like, what can you get me? What can you do for me?
Sure, yeah.
There's always that thing. But you came to me with, like, I want to collab. I see what you're doing. I'm meeting you here. I want to meet you toe to toe here and see what we can do. And it was so inspiring. And it just felt like, oh, this guy sees me for what I want to do. And Soundwaves is like pushing everything or doing our damnedest to push everything up. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I think that what you and Dennis do is just incredible. I mean, it's for the first time in my career, I feel like we have advocates, you know, and that's really all we need is a chance.
Yeah.
All we need is a chance to show what we've got.
Yeah.
You know, and to be presented in the light that's respectful to the art. And if you give us a chance to do that, which you guys have, look what's happening. There's a scene that's building around the bands that you guys are promoting. And you guys, listen, 10 years from now, these two, forget it. They're going to write books about them, guys.
Oh, my God. I love you.
I'm telling you. No, I'm telling you.
That's very kind. That's
San Francisco, listen to me. Bay Area, the whole thing. Right now, you have a chance to put this area back on the map musically. We haven't given the world a musical movement for a very long time, but we earned this. We invented classic rock. At 1971, 6 out of 10 songs on the radio would have been from the Bay Area. That's the real. So if you guys want to do this, then what we have to do is we all have to work together. And this doesn't mean you have to play classic rock.
Right.
That doesn't mean it at all. We're talking about one part of this musical movement. The musical movement of classic rock, remember, is craft standard, not a genre. If your music's good enough, they'll play it on the radio.
Okay, sorry. Now I'm getting. I knew we were going to end up here. Oh my God, Mike, you're a legend. You are a legend. Tell everyone who wants to give you their time, most importantly, tell them where to find you. If they want to come to your studio, Lucky Recording Studio, how do they meet you?
We're very kind of opposite of all of that. We have no websites and all that sort of thing.
It. I love it.
You can go on Facebook, and there's one Facebook page that I do my desperateness to try to connect with you on there. There's a phone number to leave a message. Please excuse me if I don't call you right back. It's because I'm working on someone else's record. And
yes.
If I was working on your record, you wouldn't want me to answer the phone then either.
Even better. I love that about you. And you're, you know what? By doing it that way, you're getting the people who are serious.
Yes.
You were serious in stalking me to have this relationship, and they need to be serious in stalking you to be able to work with you. That's the way I see it.
Life is a treasure hunt.
All right. Shall we listen to and view this
Spirit
video?
Spirit of 69.
Spirit of 69.
Get in. Find the Easter eggs. Listen, you find the Easter eggs and you get them to me, the answers, I got a prize for you.
Oh, I love that. Oh my God, Mikel Ross, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys for doing all this. I appreciate it.
You're watching Soundwaves TV. We'll be right back. Enjoy this one.
All right.
children of the moon, landing in July and June, when the world saw an earth rise in space for the first time. And we truly must confess, both worlds we've had the best, but we knew life on its own before the age of mobile phones. Yet we love how we connect, from our bodies through the net, in our eyes and through our brains. We watch the world go insane. We are children of the stars, with mandolins and guitars, bouncing sound waves off of Venus, Mercury and Mars. Yeah, the music of the spheres is music to our ears. We've had that spirit here for nigh on 50 years. Na-na-na, 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 na-na-na. Spirit of 69. Children of the sun, and we've only just begun to wake a sleeping world. Tell all the boys and girls that we will all shine on through every space and time, carrying the spirit of 1969. We are children of the stars, with our voices and guitars, bouncing sound waves off of Venus, Jupiter and Mars. Yeah, the music of the spheres is music to our ears. We've had that spirit here for nigh on 50 years. Na-na-na, 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 na-na-na. Spirit of 69.
SoundwavesTV.com is your official home for Soundwaves merch. From coffee mugs to a variety of barware, my favorite, hats, exclusive tees, and the exclusive Soundwaves commemorative challenge coin. Get all your shopping done at SoundwavesTV.com.
The official Soundwaves beer, Into the Groove, is available on tap and in cans at Devil's Canyon Brewing Company in San Carlos. From beer Fridays to live performances, a tasting room, and a beer garden, your next party is at Devil's Canyon.
If you'd like to be considered for airplay on either Soundwaves FM on 107.7 The Bone or right here on Soundwaves TV, all you have to do is go to 1077thebone.com/Soundwaves, drop a link to your music, submit, and that's it. As simple as that. You know, it's kind of like the movie Airheads, except you don't take anyone hostage.
You guys are crazy, man.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Soundwaves TV. Dennis Willis here with Chasta, and you know, our compatriot Mr. Stephen Kirk is about ready to embark on a very cool adventure next week.
A personal journey.
Yes, right? A personal journey. Yes, an existential sort of, I don't know.
Existential crisis? Maybe, I didn't know if you were going to finish it with that.
Well, we could. You never know. It is Steve we're talking about.
That's true.
But I guess he's ready to take the wrapper off and show us what the present is.
Oh, how exciting. An unboxing.
As it were. Yes, an unboxing.
What does he have wrapped? Oh, God, I'm scared.
Very smart. Very smart. I would too. Steve, tell us about your big show.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Stephen Kirk here with you. Still enjoying my summer vacation here at the Captain's Cove down in Los Angeles. But that's this week. Next week, boy, have we got something special planned for you. We are going to go on a road trip, you and me. We're going to start in Chicago. We're going to come all the way back here to Los Angeles. Yep, that's right. Episode 166 is called Mother Road, Mother Load, because we are going to be on the Mother Road. We are going to go from Chicago to here on historic Route 66. We're going to stop along the way and check out some cool touristy kind of stuff, but we're also going to stop in each individual state that we're going to go through and check out great local music by local artists in those states. It's going to be fun. Be sure to come back and check it out. Right now, though, I'm going to get back to my important trip prep that I was doing before you guys stopped by, but if you have any other programming questions about next week's episode, feel free to take it up with my executive assistant. Cheers.
All right, so he's going to do the thing. He's going to do Route 66 from Chicago all the way to Los Angeles.
This is very, very impressive. Like that. I mean, he took this on really all by himself. I mean, with family.
We did pressure him into it a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was already doing the thing, and we were like, why not add Soundwaves to the mix?
Right, exactly.
Soundwaves is all of our whole lives, it seems.
You know what we do? We just use an example. Chasta would do it. Chasta would totally do it.
I would totally do it.
No, fine,
yeah, but he did it first, so he's cool. He's the cool kid. Yeah. So we're excited about that.
Shout out to DJ Bear, who actually programmed that episode.
Yes, of course he did.
Because,
freaking DJ Bear.
You know, hey, DJ Bear, we need songs from these various places all around the country, from here to here. And 60 bands show up.
I was just going to say, didn't you ask for like a couple songs from bands? And he's like, here's a spreadsheet in Excel.
Yep. But that's why we love DJ Bear.
Yeah. It's good. He's great.
Yes.
Yep.
So we won't see you next week, but we've got a lot of really exciting things to do. We can't tell you anything about it. I can't even talk.
We're so excited. We're so excited. We can't even talk.
Don't make plans for New Year's Eve. I mean, go ahead and make plans for New Year's Eve. But factor us into those plans somehow, and we'll tell you about that later.
I was going to say, we're not saying anything yet.
No.
Not yet.
We're not. Except,
wink,
keep
wink,
us in mind.
Where's our, we got to find our party hats.
Yes.
That's all we'll say.
Yes.
Stop there.
That's it. That's it. We're out.
Goodbye.
could call it curious, like the night with the judge and the hot tub's nothing serious. It's all in good fun, candles along the snow. Maybe you still have the photos, how will I ever know? You know, college or a hot